Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hypoxia. Definition. The term hypoxia is a condition where the tissues are not oxygenated adequately, usually due to an insufficient concentration of oxygen in the blood. Or simply, hypoxia is defined as a reduced availability of oxygen to the tissues. So, the causes of hypoxia. Four important factors which leads to hypoxia are oxygen tension in the arterial blood, oxygen carrying capacities of blood, velocity of blood flow, utilization of oxygen by the cells. On the basis of above factors, hypoxia is classified into four types. One is the hypoxic hypoxia, anemic hypoxia, stagnant hypoxia, histotoxic hypoxia. Each type of hypoxia may be acute or the chronic. So four types of hypoxia. One is the hypoxic hypoxia. Hypoxic hypoxia, also called as a diffusion hypoxia, is essentially due to the deficiency of oxygen being observed by the lungs. This is either due to the decrease in inspired concentration of oxygen in the air, which can result in suffocation, or a decrease in the amount of breathable oxygen often encountered in pilots, mountain climbers, and the people living at high altitudes due to the reduced barometric pressure. And the other cause is the cardiopulmonary failure, in which the lungs are unable to efficiently transfer oxygen from the alveoli to the blood. So the second is the anemic hypoxia. This is due to decreased oxygen binding capacity of the lungs, most commonly due to decrease in the hemoglobin concentration. Hemoglobin is the main carrier of oxygen in the circulation throughout the body. Hence, if hemoglobin is less, supply of oxygen to the tissue is decreased. In the cases of anemic hypoxia, either the total amount of hemoglobin is too small to supply the body oxygen needs, as in anemia, or after severe bleeding, or hemoglobin that is present is rendered non-functional. Examples are like carbon monoxide poisoning and acquired methemoglobinemia, in both of which the hemoglobin is so altered by the toxic agents that it's become unavailable for oxygen transport and thus of no respiratory value. So the third is the stagnant hypoxia. This is due to decrease in the flow of blood that carries the oxygen. For example, as in cardiac arrest or in circulatory shock, the decreased supply of oxygen due to a cessation or slowing down of the blood circulation causes hypoxia to the body tissues. So again, the third, stagnant hypoxia. Stagnant hypoxia, in which blood flow through the capillaries is insufficient to supply the tissue, may be general or local. If general, it may result from heart disease that impairs the circulation, impairment of venous return of the blood, or trauma that induces the shock. Local stagnant hypoxia may be due to any condition that reduces or prevents the circulation of the blood in any area of the body. Example include Raynaud's syndrome and Buerger's disease, which restrict circulation in the extremities. Extremities means legs, and application of the tourniquet to control the bleeding, ergot poisoning, exposure to cold, and overwhelming systemic infection with the shock. So the histotoxic hypoxia, this occurs due to defect in the extraction of oxygen from the circulation by the body tissues. An example of histotoxic hypoxia is a cyanide poisoning. In histotoxic hypoxia, the cells of the body are unable to use the oxygen. Although the amount in the blood may be normal or under normal tension. Although characteristically produced by cyanide poisoning, any agent that decrease the cellular respiration may cause it. Some of these agents are narcotics, alcohol, formaldehyde, acetone, and certain anesthetic agents. So this is a chart of different type of hypoxia: hypoxic hypoxia, low oxygen tension, and maybe due to the high altitudes. Anemic hypoxia, oxygen carrying capacity will be low, and maybe due to the anemia, blood loss, or carbon monoxide poisoning. Stagnant hypoxia, low perfusion, maybe due to the heart failure, shock, and ischemia, in which the blood is not sufficiently supplied to the tissues of the body or the organs of the body. Histotoxic hypoxia, here the cellular hypoxia, and it may occur due to the cyanide and other metabolic poisons and shifting of the oxygen and hemoglobin curve towards the left side. Now in detail, hypoxia and its causes. Hypoxia is caused by 4 factors. Number 1, low oxygen tension in inspired air is one of its cause of hypoxia, which does not provide the enough oxygen. It means the atmosphere in which you are inspiring, in which you are taking your breath, that atmosphere does not contain a sufficient amount of oxygen in it. And the second is the respiratory disorder associated with decreased pulmonary ventilation, which does not allow the intake of enough oxygen. So the respiratory disorder associated with inadequate oxygen in lungs, which does not allow diffusion of enough oxygen. Now the other is the cardiac disorders, in which enough blood is not pumped to transport the oxygen. So low oxygen tension in inspired air. Oxygen tension in inspired air is reduced in the following conditions. Number 1 is the high altitude due to low hyperbaric pressure while breathing in closed spaces. And third is the while breathing gas mixture containing low partial pressure of oxygen. Because of these conditions, required quantity of oxygen cannot enter the lung. So the respiratory disorder associated decreased pulmonary ventilation. Pulmonary ventilation decrease in the following conditions: obstruction of respiratory passages and an asthma. In asthma, there is a very much forceful expiration due to the spasm of the smooth muscle of the bronchi and bronchioles. Nervous and mechanical hindrance to the respiratory movement, as in poliomyelitis. In poliomyelitis, respiratory muscles like internal and external costal muscles are paralyzed or very much weak. Depression of the respiratory center, as in the brain tumor. Brain tumor depresses the respiratory center and the respiration becomes sluggish. Pneumothorax. In this condition, even though the enough oxygen is available in the atmosphere, it cannot reach the lungs. Respiratory disorder associated with inadequate oxygenation of blood in the lungs. These are the following conditions: impaired alveolar diffusion, as in emphysema. In emphysema, it is a pathological accumulation of air in lungs and is characterized by the increase in size of the air spaces due to the dilatation, abnormal obstruction of the alveoli, as in chronic smoking or other pathological condition. Presence of non-functioning alveoli, as in fibrosis. Some areas or lung become fibrotic, so it loses its elasticity and it does not function very well. Filling of the alveoli with fluid, as in pulmonary edema. Pulmonary edema, pneumonia, pulmonary hemorrhage. Collapse of lung, as in bronchiolar obstruction. Lack of surfactant. This surfactant is a fluid which is present in our alveoli and produce the negative pressure, so the alveoli are functional and expanded. When this surfactant is absent, the alveoli get collapsed and become non-functional. Abnormal pleural cavity. As you know, that we have the 2 type of pleuras. One is the visceral pleura, other is the parietal pleura. Parietal pleura is wrapped inside the thoracic wall, and the visceral pleura is wrapped over the lungs. There is a space, it is called the interpleural space. So in the interpleural space, pneumothorax means if the air is sometimes due to the fracture of the ribs, as in trauma, so the air leaks in this space and get accumulated there and press our lungs. So this is a condition in which the proper oxygenation of blood does not occur. And hydrothorax means fluid due to these are some conditions as in malignancy, or sometimes in tuberculosis, the fluid become accumulated in between these pleural spaces. So the hemothorax means blood inside in between these pleural cavities, and pyothorax means pus in between the pleural cavities. Increased venous admixture as in case of bronchiectasis. In this condition, in spite of oxygen availability and entrance of oxygen into the alveoli, it cannot diffuse into the blood. So the second are the cardiac disorders which lead to hypoxia. These in congestive heart failure, oxygen availability and diffusions are normal, but the blood cannot be pumped from the heart properly. Anemic hypoxia is the condition characterized by the inability of the blood to carry enough amount of oxygen. Oxygen availability is normal, but the blood is not able to take up sufficient amount of oxygen due to the anemic condition. Any condition that causes an anemia can cause anemic hypoxia. It is caused by the following conditions like decreased number of RBCs, decreased hemoglobin content in the blood, formation of altered hemoglobin, combination of hemoglobin with the other gases. So decreased number of RBCs. RBCs decreases in condition like bone marrow diseases and hemorrhage, etc. Decreased hemoglobin content in the blood, condition which decrease the RBCs count or change the structure, shape and size of RBCs like microcytes, macrocytes, spherocytes, sickle cells, gliocytes, etc. can decrease the hemoglobin content in the blood. Formation of altered hemoglobin. Poisoning with chlorates, nitrates, ferricianides, etc. causes oxidation of iron into ferric form, and the hemoglobin is known as methemoglobin. Methemoglobin cannot combine with oxygen, thus the quantity of hemoglobin available for oxygen transport is decreased. Fourth is a combination of hemoglobin with gases other than oxygen and carbon dioxide. When hemoglobin combines with carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide or nitrous oxide, it loses the capacity to transport of oxygen. Characteristic feature of anemic hypoxia. Anemic hypoxia is characterized by decreased oxygen carrying capacity of blood. All other features remains normal. Okay, third one is the stagnant hypoxia. Stagnant hypoxia is a hypoxia caused by decreased velocity of blood flow. It is otherwise called hypokinetic hypoxia. Causes for stagnant hypoxia. Stagnant hypoxia occurs mainly due to the reduction in velocity of blood flow in the following conditions like congestive cardiac failure, hemorrhage, surgical shock, vasospasm, thrombosis, embolism. Characteristic feature of the stagnant hypoxia. Stagnant hypoxia is characterized by decreased velocity of blood flow. All other feature remains normal. And fourth one is the histotoxic hypoxia. Histotoxic hypoxia is a type of hypoxia produced by the inability of the tissue to utilize the oxygen. Causes for histotoxic hypoxia. Histotoxic hypoxia occurs due to cyanides or sulfide poisoning. These poisonous substances destroy the cellular oxidative enzymes, and there is a complete paralysis of cytochrome oxidase system. So even if the oxygen is supplied, the tissue are unable to utilize it. Now the effects of hypoxia on our body. Acute and severe hypoxia leads to unconsciousness. If not treated immediately, brain death occurs. Chronic hypoxia produces various symptoms in the body. Effects of hypoxia are of two types: immediate effect and delayed effect. So the immediate effect. So the effect on blood. Hypoxia induces secretion of erythropoietin from the kidney. Erythropoietin is a hormone which increases the production of RBCs and is secreted from the kidney. This in turn increases the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So second, effect on the cardiovascular system. Initially, due to the reflex stimulation of cardiac and vasomotor centers, there is an increase in the rate and force of contraction of the heart, and the cardiac output and blood pressure will be also increase. Later, there is a reduction in the rate and force of contraction of the heart. Cardiac output and blood pressure are also decreased. And third, effects on respiration. Initially, respiratory rate increases due to chemoreceptor reflex. Because of this, large amount of carbon dioxide is washed out, leading to alkalemia. Alkalemia means increased concentration of potassium in the blood. Later, the respiration tends to be shallow and periodic. Finally, the rate and force of breathing are reduced to great extent due to failure of the respiratory centers. Okay, the fourth, effects on digestive system. Hypoxia is associated with loss of appetite, nausea and vomiting. Mouth becomes dry and there is a feeling of thirst. So the fourth, effects on the kidney. Hypoxia causes increased secretion of erythropoietin. Erythropoietin is a hormone which is secreted from the juxtaglomerular apparatus, and alkaline urine is excreted in response of this. So the cough reflex. Cough is a modified respiratory process characterized by forced expiration. It is protective reflex and it is caused by irritation of respiratory tract. Cough is produced mainly by the irritant agents. It is also produced by several disorders such as cardiac disorder, congestive heart failure, pulmonary disorder like chronic obstructive lung diseases, and tumor in the thorax which may exert pressure on larynx, trachea, bronchi or lungs. So now the mechanism of cough. Cough begins with deep inspiration followed by forced expiration with closed glottis. This increases the intrapleural pressure above 100 mm of mercury. Then glottis opens suddenly with the explosive outflow of air at high velocity of 960 km per hour. It causes expulsion of irritant substances out of the respiratory tract like sputum or other foreign bodies. So the reflex pathway of cough. Receptors that initiate cough are situated in several locations such as nose, paranasal sinuses, larynx, pharynx, trachea, bronchi, pleura, diaphragm, pericardium, cough, stomach, external auditory canal, tympanic membrane. Afferent nerve fibers pass via vagus, trigeminal, glossopharyngeal and phrenic nerves. The centers for cough reflex is in the medulla oblongata. Efferent nerve fibers arising from the medullary centers pass through the vagus, phrenic and spinal motor nerves. These nerve fibers activate the primary and accessory respiratory muscles. So second is the sneezing reflex. Sneezing is also a modified respiratory process characterized by forced expiration. It is protective reflex caused by irritation of nasal mucous membrane. Irritation of the nasal mucous membrane occurs because of dust particles, debris or some other foreign particles, mechanical obstruction of the airways and excess fluid accumulation in the nasal passages. So mechanism of the sneezing. Sneezing starts with deep inspiration followed by forceful expiratory efforts with opened glottis, resulting in expulsion of irritant agents out of the respiratory tract. So the reflex pathway of sneezing. Sneezing is initiated by irritation of nasal mucous membrane, the olfactory receptors and trigeminal nerves ending present in the nasal mucosa. Afferent nerve fibers pass through the trigeminal and olfactory nerves. Sneezing center is in the medulla oblongata. It is located diffusely in spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve, nucleus solitarius, and the reticular formation of the medulla. Efferent nerve fibers from the medullary center pass via the trigeminal, facial, glossopharyngeal, vagus, and intercostal nerves. These nerve fibers activate the pharyngeal, tracheal, and respiratory muscles.